The Microchip MPLAB Integrated Programming Environment, or IPE, is a multi-platform NetBeans application that can be run independently to the MPLAB IDE, and which provides a simple interface to quickly access key programmer features for most Microchip devices and programmers. A production manager can pre-configure the IPE with the data and settings to be used during programming, as well as limit access to only those controls deemed necessary to perform a production run. These configurations might be stored in environment files that can be loaded when required. If the IPE you are using has been pre-configured, not all the features discussed in this presentation may be enabled. A manager with access to the advanced mode password will need to provide access to any feature that is locked. After connecting your programming tool, run the IPE application. A simple programming sequence might run as follows. Before loading a hex file to program, start typing in the device selector to find and select the device being programmed. Ensure the programming tool you wish to use is selected from the tool selector. Then click Connect. Once connected, you can click Erase to return the device to an unprogrammed state, although this is performed automatically before programming, and there is the option to perform this when using the PM3. Click Blank Check to ensure the device is unprogrammed. Select the hex file you wish to program by clicking the Browse button next to the source field, or selecting the File, Import Hex menu item. Once loaded, the value in the checksum field will change from the default device checksum to a value that should match the checksum calculated by the MPLAB IDE and displayed in the dashboard when the project was built. If enabled, you can view the CP equals off checksum field, which shows the checksum that would have been obtained had code protection been disabled. This is useful since the checksum calculated by the MPLAB IDE is often 0 when the project's configuration bits enable code protection. At this time, checksums are not calculated for AVR or SAM devices. At any time, you can check the memory and power settings that currently apply from the View menu. Click Program to program the contents of this hex file to the device. The device is verified after programming, but you can manually perform this step by clicking the Verify button. If code protection has been enabled, verification of the device or reading back its program image might not be possible. Check the Output view and the Pass-Fail count in the Results panel to ensure that programming has been performed correctly. Serialized Quick Turn Programming, or SQTP, allows one or more memory locations to be programmed with data unique to each device. The data is specified in a text file with a .NUM extension, which you can load using the Browse button next to the SQTP field, or by selecting the File, Import SQTP File menu item. When you next program a device, the data in the loaded hex file and the next serialized value in the SQTP file will be programmed. You can inspect the serialized values to be programmed in the memory view and see them change each time you program a device. Provided importation of environment files is permitted, you can load a new environment from the File, Import Environment menu item. This will configure the IPE for a programming session, and can specify the hex and SQTP file to program, and the memory and power settings. Devices can then be programmed with a known specification, and environments might restrict access to some options or controls to ensure that this specification is not accidentally altered during a production run.